here.
Remedy Entertainment began as a demo scene group in the mid-90s. They were responsible for benchmarking utilities for PCs and made Death Rally, a car combat game. The Finnish developer struck mainstream gold with Max Payne and went on to make games such as Quantum Break and Alan Wake. Control is Remedy's first multi-platform game in a decade.
And try to forget
Narrative and presentation. You would play as Jessie Faden, who is played by Courtney Hope,
I'm here.
who is on a quest to find her brother Dylan. Dylan disappeared in a mysterious incident in her hometown, Ordinary. You wind up going into the Department of Control's office in New York, which is known as the oldest house. Little factoid: the building's look is based on the AT&T Long Lines buildings, which is also there. Its aesthetic is stuck in the 1980s with IBM PCs, monochrome monitors, with no internet. The architecture is inspired by brutalist architecture and utilizes smart asset reuse, which gives Control an air of uncertainty. The sameness will then blindside you with a different environment of crazy puzzles. It does remind me a lot of Evil Within 2, where less is more. The backstory is provided by notes and OP, objects of power, which are objects that have supernatural abilities. Some can throw you in alternate dimensions or form otherworldly creatures. The phenomenon is known as AWE, Altered World Events. The creatures are dubbed the Hiss by Jessie and are your main enemy in the game. Every object has a backstory to it, as well as notes which are in stark contrast to the cinematic experience of Quantum Break or the graphic novel flavor of the early Max Payne games. It's a different, more gameplay-focused approach to storytelling. It fits in with more exploration-heavy aspects of the game and helps with the pacing. In Control, you can gain access to a suite of psychic abilities such as Melee, which is akin to the first push in the start. The launch ability allows you to use telekinesis to lift and throw items. If you get upgraded enough, you can even throw larger items. Evade is a dash move that is similar to the time dodge and Quantum Break. As the name suggests, Evade allows you to dodge quickly to avoid enemy attacks. Seize allows you to take control of enemies for a short period of time, letting you do the dirty work. Lastly is Levitate, which is to attack enemies at different heights and fight hidden areas. Speaking of hidden areas, the game is full of them, and which ability allow you to backtrack well-treaded territories, such as like a adventure game. Speaking of hidden areas, the game is full of them, and each ability allows you to backtrack well-treaded territory, much like a Metroid style game. Besides your abilities, you also have a supernatural firearm called the Service Weapon, which is an upgradable, living gun that takes on different shapes as it gains new abilities. Grip is your basic jack-of-all-trades weapon. It does decent damage and will be your go-to for most of the encounters. Scatter is a close-range shotgun type that does great damage to tougher enemies and makes quick work of weaker ones. Spin is for the spare and pray fan, but is more accurate when fired in bursts. Pierce is a charge-based weapon that's useful for enemies and shields. Finally, Charge is a heavy weapon that can hold up to 3 explosive projectiles. No ammo needed, since the weapon recharges when it's not in use. Gunplay is focused on movement rather than holding your ground. It is used to stop and pop third-person shooter style, popular by Gears of War and the Uncharted franchise. The weapons all have mods that randomly drop from enemies or can be found in hidden areas. This allows a high level of customizability to 2 things. For example, you may wish to inflict as much damage as possible, or play it risky and gain a damage multiplier when on low health. The mod also affects things like health, cooldown, and ability damage. Controls control are snappy and responsive, which help incentivize more aggressive play, graphics, and performance. The graphics feel like a late-gen game. Realistic skin materials, tons of objects and physics, and smooth animations shine within the game. This comes at the price of having a cap at 30 frames per second. This leads to some technical issues on console, where the frame rate stutters when there's a lot of effects such as explosion and debris on the screen. The current patch fixes most of the issues with the performance. In conclusion, Control hits the right chords with Metroidvania-like progression, cool mix of aesthetics, tight mechanics was mindlessly marred by some technical issues which have been remedied, with recent patches. There's also Season Pass with single player DLC coming in 2020. Must buy. Rating 9.75 out of 10.